Hey everyone, this is Jyotika and welcome to your third HTML5 tutorial. Today we are going to learn all about HTML elements and tags, how we write them, some general rules to follow while writing them, and also about some exceptions to these rules. If you watched my earlier videos, then you know how a web page is built using HTML and that HTML is nothing but a collection of a series of elements. So now let's see what exactly is an HTML element. HTML elements tell the browser how to display the content. What that means is, the elements label pieces of content such as this is a heading, this is a paragraph, this is an image, etc. Now for a moment, I want you all to imagine that you are making a cheese sandwich. So you will take a slice of bread, some cheese and another slice of bread to cover it. So just like your sandwich has two slices of bread to hold the content inside, an HTML element is defined by a start tag or an opening tag, some content and an end tag or a closing tag. Let me show you on my text editor how to write an HTML element. You start with an opening angle bracket, then you write your tag name like a paragraph or a div, then you type in the closing angle bracket. So this entire thing here is the start tag. After that you write your content and finish that up with an opening angle bracket, a slash, the same tag name that you put earlier, and then a closing angle bracket. And this whole thing here is our end tag. So in this example, this is called as opening div tag and this is called as closing div tag. Many a times, the terms elements and tags are used interchangeably while talking about coding, but the point to note here is that this entire thing from the start tag to the end tag is called an HTML element. It is very important to put in the end tag to close your element. Some HTML elements will display correctly on the browser even if you forget the end tag. However, never rely on this, as sometimes unexpected results and errors may occur if you forget the end tag. As you can see in this example, the browser has displayed even the paragraph like a heading in big bold format and also messed up the layout of our page by throwing the image here. This is all because we forgot to put the end tags to our heading and paragraph elements here in the code. So what I always do while writing code is that I always begin with the start tag, then immediately type the end tag as well, and then go back and fill in my content. This way I don't forget to put the end tag later. There are many such HTML elements and we are going to learn about them in detail in future classes. Now there are some HTML elements which do not have any content or an end tag. These elements are called as empty or void or self-closing elements. Some examples are the BR, HR and the image element. They are simply written like this with a start tag. You don't write them like this. In earlier versions of HTML, the empty elements were written with a forward slash just before closing your angle bracket. But with HTML5, you can omit this slash. But both of these are valid syntax for HTML5. One other empty element that we all have seen in our earlier examples is the meta element. As you can see, there is no end tag to it and no content either. And what you see here inside the brackets is not content, it is an attribute. And we will study about attributes and many more empty elements in future classes. Also, let me tell you one more important thing here. The doc type that you see here is not an HTML element. It is simply a declaration of the document type. which in this case is HTML5. Now I have a small activity for you all. In this code snippet, there are various types of elements. I want you all to find the empty elements. You can pause the video here and type the element names in the comments below. I have also put the link to this code in the description below. Now moving on, another thing about HTML elements is that the tags are not case sensitive. What that means is the P tag in uppercase is the same as P tag in lowercase. In XHTML, which was an earlier version of HTML, lowercase was a requirement. But the HTML standard does not require lowercase tags. However, developers have tended to stick with lowercase as a convention anyway, mainly because it's a lot easier to read and easier to type as well. But it is only a convention. There is nothing forcing it. If you have existing code with uppercase tags, they will work, and there is nothing stopping you from continuing to write your tags that way. One other thing I wanted to show is that when you open your web page in the browser and right-click and inspect the site, you will notice that all the elements will be seen in lowercase, regardless of how they were written in the actual source code. For this reason, if you stick with lowercase tags, you will find it easier to work with developer tools because the code you see here will be more consistent with the source code you have written. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the concept of nesting. HTML elements can be nested. This means that elements can contain other elements. All HTML documents consist of nested HTML elements. Let us take the same example of code that we saw earlier. So as you can see, we have the HTML element that starts here and has the end tag right down below here. And in between we have all these other elements. We have also included the heading 1, paragraph and the image element inside the body element. However, there are certain rules regarding nesting these elements. Not all elements can be nested inside all other elements. For example, you don't include the head element inside the body element and vice versa. And there are certain elements which can be nested only inside certain elements and not elsewhere. But we will gradually understand all that as we progress further in our classes. So these were a few basic things about elements that I thought you should know before we learn more, and we are going to learn many more concepts as we progress ahead. Let us now quickly review what we learned. Today we learned that HTML elements have a start tag, an end tag and some content in between. But there are some empty elements too. Then we learned how HTML elements are not case sensitive and also learnt about how some elements can contain other elements. And that's it for today. Hope you all found this class informative. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions and I will try my best to answer them. Also, don't forget to send me the answers of the empty elements activity. This is Jyotika signing off. Until next time, keep learning and keep coding.